We got Chris queuing up the Druid. Looks like a Cthulhu. It's going to be a Cthulhu Druid. And then over on Hat's side, he's going to be queuing up the Hunter, which is... looks like a Spell Hunter going on over here. So, let's see. I'm gonna admit I have not played. I have not seen this matchup terribly often. Kind of one of the great things about this this format that you have here is that it forces everyone to bring a unique set of decks. They're kind of forced to bring something that may not be top tier meta defining classes. So we're gonna have some pretty interesting matches, and if we're looking at Hat's hand here, this is gonna be a turn 3 Barnes grabbing a Yasiraj, which is kind of exactly what Hat wants to be doing, and Chris has to hate to see that.
Yeah, we'll see. He is going to go ahead and coin into the Barnes here. Let's see what he gets here. I wonder if he's running anything other than Yasiraj, or looks like it not. So it will be an early Yasiraj for Hat coming into this one here.
Right, and Hat has up the Wandering Monster secret. Right now, yeah, Chris is just going to trade into this 1-2, take that little value trade there. And gotta try to figure out a way to deal with this 10-10, because that's gonna put in a lot of damage. Ooh, and a flanking strike coming out, removing Chris's spellbreaker that he had to use on a 10-10 just to get a board presence going. Chris is probably gonna have to use this glacial shard to try to stop some of the damage.
Let's see here.
I think it might be just a little too little too late.
Well, looks like he's going to slow up the Yasiraj for now and just try to get some kind of board presence going here. But that first big hit with the Yasiraj is definitely something you don't want to see early on, as it looks like Hat's going to just try to go for the face here. And clearly he has board presence.
Yeah, he's just trying to end the game. The thing about freezing the 10-10 is, yes, it's nice to kind of have stalled out for an extra turn, but that 10 damage is still coming at him, and I don't know that there's anything you can do about this. He's got 19 damage showing if Chris decides to take out one of the 3/3s. And unfortunately, Spiteful Summoner getting a 10 drop is just not going to be able to stop the game from ending here, and Hat's going to take a real quick first game there.
Sure was. Okay, so that will be Hat going up 1-0 here. So let's go.
Yep, exactly what what the Spell Hunter deck wants to do. When it gets out the turn 3 10-10 with a 3/4 and a 1/1 attached to it, it's there's not a whole lot you can do about that. Especially a spiteful priest. Maybe if it had been a little bit later in the game, maybe Chris could have gotten a spiteful summoner out a little bit quicker to be able to trade with the Yasiraj, but unfortunately it was just a tad bit short. So looks like Chris is now queuing up gonna queue up the same deck. Is this Conquest?
It is Conquest, so...
Okay, so they have to win with everything.
That is correct, and you can see which classes both players have left to choose from on the right-hand side here. It's interesting, this Druid deck that Chris did bring, considering it looks like a mix of both Cthulhu and some kind of spiteful, spell-oriented strategy going on here. It's definitely something I've never seen before. So we'll see how it fares against the Warrior here. Okay, so it will be a Quest Warrior. I was going to say, Warrior's usually in a bad spot right now in the meta, so we'll see what Hat can do here with this Quest Warrior.
By the way, I just noticed you can actually go in, and you're friends with RidiculousHat. You can actually spectate him as well, so you can see both hands here.
Okay, let's double check this out.
So Chris, gonna get out a bit of an early board presence. Kind of needs to figure out a way to get in some damage early before Hat's able to start dropping some big taunts. As you can see, in Hat's hand is the Skulking Geist. Not going to be super good in the Fightful matchup, but we'll kind of see if he's able to, get up enough taunts to deal with the value that Chris is going to be able to generate as the game goes on longer. I actually feel like this is probably not the matchup that Hat really wants to see with the warrior deck. Seems like it could be difficult to deal with kind of all the gigantic minions that Chris is going to be generating over the course of the game.
Yeah, especially if Chris is able to keep the board clear here. He's just going to keep dropping value after value. It's only a matter of time, it seems like.
Yeah, and you can already see that relatively early Prince Keleseth is just going to be even more of an issue for Hat over the course of the game. Just going to kind of keep just generating value on all these minions. Basically this version of the Cthulhu deck is a bunch of creatures and 2 ultimate infestations. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's anything Hat can kind of do to get out of a situation like this. Picks up a Brawl, which looks pretty tempting on a board like this, but at the same time, you gotta think that it's just gonna get worse as time goes on. This isn't the most threatening board I've seen. You have another Ally Armorsmith to kind of get your hero power going. You can trade off a couple of the smaller minions. You really want to save the Brawl for when eventually Chris just kind of goes all out and just has a massive board that you don't have enough stuff to deal with.
Yeah, it might be this upcoming turn after the Spiteful, depending on what's pulled here. It's probably going to be a 10-drop. Yeah, so We'll see what is exactly pulled here. I mean, if Hat can continue to generate taunts and just work towards getting his quest completed, he might have a chance here.
Yep. And that's Chris rolls a little bit low on that, but on average, a 7/7 is slightly below what you would probably expect for the most part.
Yeah.
But still going to be relatively happy with this. Okay, so Hat goes with clearing as much stuff as he can with the Execute and Whirlwinds. Okay. A little bit aggressive use of the Whirlwind there. I don't know that we needed to kind of expend that extra resource there. Felt slightly unnecessary to me. But overall, I mean, the thing is Hat dealt with that last board, and now you just see more things coming out. It's just bigger minions.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how both players utilize their resources, because it looks like both players are starting to whittle down as far as cards go. Hat, trying to put up a strong defense here, but Chris is working towards that Cthulhu.
Unfortunately, this Grand Archivist represents a ton of cards right now, and I probably would want to play it right now because you only got one ultimate infestation left in your deck, and you don't want to. You don't really want to draw the other one. You might go Coin Cthulhu here. Actually, Coin UI is also not bad. You don't really need the Archivist pulling the extra UI. Oh, he's gonna go with an early Cthulhu. Let me check his his deck list. All right. Oh, okay. If he didn't kill the,
I was thinking that too.
That would have been pretty funny. All right, and now Hat is at 9, facing down 16 power on board. Probably wishes he had that Execute back. Might end up having to take a 50-50 on this Brawl here, which is not exactly what he wants.
Let's see how it's going to turn out for him.
Okay. It's the 50-50, but still just not in a great spot, honestly. Especially since we both know that this UI is about to come out and just generate so many resources. I have a feeling that that this one's looking extremely in favor for Chris here. Hat still needs 2 more taunt minions in order to
Complete the quest.
you know, yep, complete the quest.
Well, there's one. Let's see if he has another one in
There's
hand.
one, and then Skulking Geist just to have kind of a board presence here. But unfortunately, as we can see, the Spellbreaker should wrap it up there. Spellbreaker plus hero power is the 6 damage to end the game. Even if he didn't have the ability to end the game this turn, just look at the hand size difference. Hat doesn't really have any way to kind of get back into the game, even if somehow he didn't die this turn. And that's going to tie it up. 1 game apiece.
We are tied up at 1 game apiece. Let me go ahead and update the scores here real quick.
Oh, were you not able to
Yeah, give me
to
1
figure
second.
out how to spectate Hat?
I actually got to get Hat's BattleNet tag, as I don't, for some reason, have it on my friends list. So that could be a reason why we're not spectating.
Let's see. Shoot me your gamer tag. I'll just send you Hats.
Okay.
There you go. Just sent that to you in Discord. Looks like we're switching it up a little bit here. Now it looks like Chris is bringing his rogue, which looks to be... Oh, it's a Cthulhu rogue. Interesting. Chris really wanted... I was talking to him a little bit before the game started. Really, he was looking to give the old gods kind of one last go at it. And then if we're looking at Hat's deck here, Hat's bringing a full out dude paladin deck, as the kids say.
Yeah, that's been seeing quite a bit of play lately on the standard ladder, so let's see how it works out for him in this one. But yeah, we can clearly see... I can't recall the last time I saw Cthulhu in a rogue deck, so I guess we'll see how that works out for him in this matchup.
So Hat coins out the knife juggler here, mainly because he doesn't just want to get the Lost in the Jungle double hit twice with the dagger and just taken out like that. Kind of an interesting choice there, but he didn't have the call to arms at the time and was probably trying to save Lost in the Jungle to be able to go with that light fuse Stegodon. Okay, picks up a Purifier's Maul. Could use that in conjunction. Yep, is gonna use that in conjunction with the wolf to probably take out this Stonehill Defender. Keep it healthy, or keep the Direwolf Alpha healthy.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what Chris does here. Okay, so he's gonna drop the Shaku. Oh, okay.
He's dropping Shaku and thinking about cold blooding it right away. I don't think you really need to do that.
Yeah, it seems very
really
aggressive.
You really want to save that cold blood for later. Ooh, and a great pickup there from Mr. Hat. Getting the Righteous Protector is really solid, so that he protects both of his higher value minions, the Direwolf Alpha and the Knife Juggler. Interesting tech choice here. We got a Faceless Shambler from Chris over there. I guess realizing that in a deck like this, you really need to be able to kind of protect your health total as much as possible. I think seeing a card like Stonehill Defender would have made me think that maybe the rogue deck is a little less favored, or a little more favored than usual against an aggressive deck like this. But as you can see, a lot of Chris's cards are just unfortunately kind of clunky.
Yeah, he goes with the Stampeding Kodo. I don't know if that was the best pick in this predicament. Perhaps going with the... Oh my goodness, I forgot the name of the card. What was the one?
It makes sense. I like it because it always is going to have a target against this deck.
That's true.
But at the same time, you're already taking so much damage. I don't really know kind of what Chris can do in a situation like this. Really needs a card like Fan of Knives, and Prince Keliseth is not it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all she wrote for this one. There's just too much of a board presence.
Koda's going to take out a card for us. That's probably the best target he could have asked for, and still, unfortunately, still just looks like he's kind of dead on board.
Yeah. Looks like Hat has, 9 damage here.
Did you already send a request to Hat? I can...
Let me see here.
Alright, and Hat goes up 2-1.
Yeah, let me go ahead and give Hat the request here.
It's kind of funny how the Dude Paladin deck kind of rose up after Tempo Rogue took all of those hits. Tempo Rogue was just a solid deck against a deck that's trying to put out just a bunch of 1/1s. All of your minions are just like a little bit more, just a little bit better than like all the little dudes, so you're really efficient at clearing off kind of all of the 1/1s. So it makes sense why why that seems to be doing well now. Okay. So Hat's got an interesting little opening. He's got Lackey into a secret. Not probably the secret Hat wanted. Kind of interesting that he's choosing to play Potion of Polymorph, since I believe Hat is the one with the Warlock. So
especially so early.
Interesting choice. I mean, you'd rather play the secret than not play the secret, but unfortunately, Hat's hand is kind of awkward. He's really going to be hoping that he gets the weapon pretty soon. But he's got a 4/3 coming out. That is solid. Wishes that he had a secret to go with it, but pretty good chance that he's going to be able to get a secret in 2 turns, because this will come out, unfortunately, not the target that Potion of Polymorph really wants to be hitting, but Hat will take the 4 damage going to Chris's face and probably be relatively happy about it. Picks up a secret. Explosive runes, generally pretty good, I would say, but I don't know how it's going to line up against the rest of these cards, especially since Chris is going to be still has this coin to go along with the Vile Spine.
Okay, so we see here Hat playing another secret out for free.
Alright, trading with the 4/3 so that hopefully this 4/3 can get in a bit of extra damage. I think if you're Chris, you probably just want to use this coin to get out this Vile Spine Slayer on the 4/3. You really don't want to take any excess damage against a secret mage. The more damage you take against them, just the less cards they need to be able to kind of just burn you out. I mean, has 16 damage in hand, so doesn't need a whole lot more to kind of finish off this game. Okay.
Yeah, especially continually being able to clear the board with his explosive runes there, and then just continue to build on the momentum. dropping
Yeah,
the
that
5/5.
5/5 is exactly what Hat wanted to see, and unfortunately, Chris doesn't have a activator for this Vile Spine Slayer, and doesn't want to play this Cold Light Oracle because that's just more burn spells that's going to go in Hat's hand. Yep, and there's the counter spell going up. Pinging Face. Okay, saving these Frostbolts kind of Hat wants to conceal that he has all of this burn damage that he's going to be able to point directly at Chris's face. Chris starts with a backstab. Actually, just phenomenal draw there for him. Now he's able to activate this Vile Spine Slayer and is probably going to start trying to race now. Okay, and Chris is happy to see that. Another 2-drop, just that he can apply more pressure with. Might end up going with Dagger. Gets in an extra damage this turn, but it's a little bit less damage overall. See what Hat's able to pick up here. If Hat picks up like a ice block, that's exactly what he's kind of looking for. Ooh, Flame Strike is solid pickup. So now
You don't say.
As long as Chris is not able to kill Hat next turn, basically Hat's gonna have the 16 damage in combination. Also, Chris might be able to pick up like some random spell to get there, but I think Hat's kind of looks like Hat's got this locked up. Save anything crazy from Hat. Assuming nothing crazy happens.
Hey, you never know. See how it's gonna work out here.
Kind of interesting that Chris did end up getting a Cthulhu card from that Shaku. Kind of goes exactly with his deck. Unfortunately, doesn't look like it's gonna be enough.
Yeah, it looks like depending on what, maybe Chris has some magic left in this, but I just don't see it.
So, did you send an invite to Hat to be able to watch him? I guess people can't see that, but Hat's last card in hand is a Pyroblast. So I've been commentating as if everybody can see what's in Hat's hand.
Yeah, give me just a second, guys. I apologize. Let me see. 1, 2, okay.
It's yeah.
Hopefully we can get him in here. There we go.
All right, so Hat goes up 3-1. Hat's kind of known for his aggressive play style, so not really surprised to see these decks he ended up bringing. Now just needs a win with his Warlock deck, which I'm guessing is not going to be terribly difficult because we all know that Warlock is extremely strong right now. But it's going to really come down to that Warrior deck. With this full lineup that Chris brought with all these old gods in it, I could definitely see a lot of it giving Hat trouble. Hat's gonna take out the Warrior again for another spin.
Okay.
Try to see if he can get a win on the board.
Cool. All right, so
I think he figures.
We finally have Hat's hand.
There we go.
Again, I do apologize for that. Still trying to figure some things out, but thanks for bearing with us.
Alright, so I actually think that if there is a deck that can that Hat might be able to get a win with, it's probably against this deck. I think that Chris's is more of an evolve type shaman deck, so it's not gonna get quite as big Jades as like the one we've seen that has like the Murmuring Elemental and stuff like that. So it's really going to be the evolves that Hat has to worry about. So if Hat's able to actually get a Skulking Geist out relatively early, I think that he I think he stands a really good shot to be able to kind of just deal with all of Chris's threats and go on to win from there. So it'll be interesting to see when Hat draws the Skulking Geist and if he's able to kind of make it work for him.
I just want to know what kind of old god is in this shaman deck, because we clearly seen so far it's been all old gods for Chris. I'm not sure. Maybe he opted to go a different route with this shaman deck, but maybe he's just playing for the shenanigans. I don't want to spoil it,
but there definitely is an old god hiding somewhere in in this version of Chris's deck.
Well, we can only hope we get to see it.
So, oh yeah, and it's a pretty spicy one. Chris now deciding if he wants to attack into this Tar Creeper, decides against it. Manatide Totem's really good here because Hat doesn't have a really good way to deal with it without playing the Blood Razor. Gonna go ahead and use the Blood Razor to take out the Manatide. Doesn't want Chris to get too many extra resources there. Gonna let the Healing Totem live for a turn. Ooh, White Eyes. Interesting. This eye is actually really strong here. It already had 2 Jade cards come out, so this is going to be number 3 and 4. Going to be pretty powerful. Let's see. So what are Hat's options here? He could just play out kind of a Direhorn Hatchling. I don't really see a whole lot of other things.
Yeah, just continuously to work through to that goal. Getting that quest completed. He's
right.
Fairly on his way.
This eye is not that scary. I mean, it's gonna generate a 4/4 Jade. Probably trades with this Tar Creeper just to get it off the board. Chris reaching for the Devolve. Goes with Devolve. Let's see what Hat gets. Not too bad. The Gnome Feratu still trades with the Aya Blackpaw, and Aya doesn't trade with the 3/6, so pretty good rolls for Hat there. Not exactly what Chris wants to see. Maybe he ends up going with White Eyes. No, he's gonna probably develop one of these things from below. Set up for a really powerful Thrall turn next turn, is what I'm expecting.
Yeah, I actually like the trade there because then you force Hat to trade into the thing from below with his entire board. So let's see.
Ooh. Dirty Rat coming out here, not exactly what Hat wants to see, I don't think, but might be going with the plan of brawling this board, or just play this Bloodhoof Brave. Seems reasonable as well. Just kind of wants to set up a wall and hope that Chris can't really get through it. And this Bloodhoof Brave is actually pretty good against this board because Chris is would normally have to use one of them to be able to get through it, but is going to be able to punch through. Ooh. Maybe not the order we wanted to go with. Could have saved our thing from below there.
I mean, he still establishes the board.
To follow up.
Yeah.
Still not the worst situation for Chris here. Primordial Drake can come down and take out the 6/2, put a little bit of damage on the White Eyes. Ooh, and that's actually a really quick quest completion for Hat. That's it's looking pretty good for him. Maelstrom Portal, pretty solid follow up to be able to take out this Primordial Drake. Unfortunately, that means that Chris would lose the White Eyes, which I don't think he wants to do. I think he's looking to potentially Thrall here. Ooh, Crystalline Oracle's actually
do you go Thrall
pretty
here?
Solid value card. I don't know, it's pretty close. The problem with going Thrall here is you don't kill the Primordial Drake, which is just going to be an issue for you throughout the course of the rest of the game. And you kind of don't mind keeping this Crystalline Oracle because most likely it's going to give you value later. Okay. I actually kind of like this because you can kind of just start evolving here, get a bunch of evolves in, and then trade in your Wide Eyes.
Let's see what he ends with here.
Oh,
Ooh.
needs to get a good 6 mana.
What's it gonna be? Okay.
Not great, but we'll take it. Not exactly what you're looking for, but we'll definitely take it. Let's see. So sleep doesn't do a lot here. Really, if Hat had a whirlwind effect here, he'd be much happier. But gonna just transform his hero power, and okay, not the target he was looking for. Draw last, but ooh. And I was looking like Chris was gonna be in a lot of trouble, but Doppelgangster Thrall is
this could definitely be game changing here. Let's see what he's able to pull.
Hat's hoping for no death rattles, no like major death rattles.
I mean, I think at this point you gotta go brawl.
Yep, this is looking like a brawl to me.
And he can't even. I don't think he can even clear with his weapon.
He should be able to use. Okay.
Okay, yeah, he could. That's true.
Yeah,
he could execute.
Hit and execute. Would have been much happier if the hero power would have hit Antonidas, but not in a terrible position now.
Yeah, I think at this point he just starts raining fire every turn from here on out, because Chris unfortunately just doesn't have very many resources left.
Yep. And Skulking Geist coming out soon is also gonna prevent Chris from drawing any more really powerful, really powerful cards. Slight misstep in ordering here. Now this Sleep with the Fishes is really gonna kind of ruin Chris's day here, and now he's in a lot of trouble.
Gets the Skulking Geist and 8 to the face. I don't know what he can pull here. Ooh. I mean, I guess that helps as far as yeah. I mean, that helps as far as like targets, for Hat's hero power. But I just don't think it's enough, unfortunately.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Unfortunately, going from from that to that is not what he's looking for. I think this one might be locked up for Hat here. Ooh, Jade Lightning. Hat is really low and doesn't have any more armor gain, but
yeah.
Jade Lightning probably just one turn too late.
Staring down the 1/1.
Yep.
But he'll finish this one out and see
if he can get a sick evolve on this 5/5. I can't think
definitely
of any
needs a
6
taunt.
drops he's looking.
That's not going to be it.
Unfortunately, not good enough.
All right, we will go to game 5 here.
Well, this is not what Chris was hoping for. It's gonna be pretty rough. Chris has to win four games against a Warlock.
Yeah, arguably the best class in the meta right now. So he's definitely got a lot of work to do for this one. We'll see.
This was the first class that Hat picked. This was the one that Hat wanted to lock in and make sure that Chris could not choose for the finals. So if I'm Chris here, I'm looking at my last classes. I'm probably thinking Priest.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I would think as well. I mean,
and that's what he ends up choosing.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of time against a lot of the Warlock decks, Priest can kind of just outvalue them over the course of the long game. They have very powerful 6 mana cards. It's the threats that they have in their deck are just so huge. It's hard for a deck like Control Warlock, which is what we see Hat bringing here. It's hard for them to deal with all of those. Yep, pretty slow start for Spiteful Priest here, but has a lot of decent value cards in it. So also Mind Control's one of the big reasons why Control Lock has a hard time dealing with a deck like Spiteful Priest. Just it kind of just makes it so that Void Lords are a problem. Are more of a hindrance than helpful for the control lock deck. Ooh, but you definitely don't want to draw two of them that early,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
definitely. I mean, I think the play here is Cabal Talon Priest, okay, or Glimmer Root. Let's see what he's able to find here.
Glimmer Root makes sense. Should know that Hellfire is the card. Fortunately for a deck like Spiteful Priest, is you still do have two. Oh man, why can't I think of the name? Two Free from Ambers. So even if he still draws a Spiteful Summoner, he's still going to be able to get a good minion out of it. The scary part is when you draw all of your late game stuff and then your Spiteful Summoners are just 6 mana 4/4s. That's when you start running into issues. Hat thinking about silencing this Tar Creeper. I don't know that you need to do it, but it does line up like relatively well against this board state, so I don't really hate this play here. Spiteful Priest just usually, unless it gets something really good off of a free from Amber, it doesn't have a lot of good silence targets.
So let's see here. I mean, do you go Tar Creeper in this case, or looks like that's what he's going to do here?
Yeah, Tar Creeper makes the most sense just because you essentially get to block the Spellbreaker from getting in some damage. Hat's hand has a Blast Crystal Potion. Interesting. Was that? Am I missing something? Was that generate? Oh no, that wasn't generated from anything, right?
The Blast Crystal? No, that's just a tech that he has in this deck.
Interesting. It's a pretty interesting choice there. I wonder what he does this turn. It seems like a turn where you can just tap again. You're not under really any pressure. Yeah, I like this. Tap and play a Stonehill Defender. Get an extra Void Lord. You're probably going to need the extra Void Lord because things are going to get mind controlled. Oh, takes the Soggoth. Just another nod to mind control being so good in this matchup.
Yep.
Let's see. So
It's very well.
We're looking at
very well played on Hat's end there to go with the Soggoth, like you said.
I mean, as we can see, there are already two mind controls in Chris's hand, so those are just going to be hard for him to deal with later. But Chris really does need to draw one of his high-value cards in the next turn or two, because the thing is Hat's just kind of getting farther and farther ahead as the game progresses. Yes, these mind controls play a big factor in the late game, being able to take the value away from it, but it's still just the Gul'dan hero power is just so powerful in the late game. It makes up for not getting maximum value out of stuff like that.
Yeah, so it looks like Hat's going to start playing these beetles, just trying to get ready, build up some more armor in this case. If he's running his off, it would be definitely something he can use later on as far as bringing the beetles back and just constantly building up his armor.
Yep.
So we got Chris here. What's the play here, you think?
To me, it just looks like a great Hellfire turn. All of Hat's stuff dies, none of your stuff dies. Kind of exactly what you want in a situation like this, and the rest of Hat's hand is not looking super great. I mean, you do have the counter Hellfire, I guess, and just picking up an extra one is good too. No real need to tap or anything, just kind of take that. Ooh, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Chris.
Now, do you play, if you're Hat on the next turn, are you going to be looking to play Twisting Nether, or are you maybe holding off? He is getting low on health here.
Yeah, let's see. So we can play this Librarian, and I think we could have gone... Okay, I was thinking we could have gone like Defile Hellfire, but it wouldn't have been quite enough to deal with that. Gonna hopefully be able to set up for a better defile later. Okay, Free from Amber coming out. If you take the Grand Archivist here, it does get your other Free from Amber out of there, which is good and bad. It generates a huge board presence for you now, but then your second Spiteful Summoner is just going to be a worse draw. So I don't mind this this Cthulhu here. Okay. Yeah, see, so draws the second Spiteful Summoner before the Free from Amber's out of his deck, which is exactly what Chris wants to see here.
So let's see what he's able to get.
Gets. Ooh, and that's a really solid one. That is a really solid pickup, because it means the Hat can't just kill it without repercussions, essentially. And now we're going into turn 10, and Hat knows that Mind Control is the card that he has to worry about. Let's see, what could we do here? Unfortunately, the Spellstone is still small, and this Soggoth is turning out to be a great little roadblock here. Chris can get through it, but it's gonna cost him a bunch of life on his creatures.
So what option are you taking here if you're Chris?
Blast Crystal Potion makes the most sense. Now that you're already at 10 mana, the downside of destroying a mana crystal is not worrisome. The trades are what I'm questioning here. How best to trade into that? Okay.
I don't think...
Right, so...
Have we seen any demons played from Hat yet? I don't think we have.
No. Currently no demons. Ooh, Netherspite Historian's gonna get a big card here. Okay, ends up going with the Primordial Drake. I might have considered going with the 12/12.
The Deathwing, yeah.
Yeah, so we can go Hellfire.
I mean, if he Hellfires, he clears
Hellfire Defile doesn't do it, so you have to go Hellfire, Spellstone, the Worm, and Defile, I think. It leaves Chris with... It's going to leave him with a 5/1. Ooh, okay. Oh, Double Defile. Double Defile full clears. Okay. I don't know why, but in my brain I didn't see the second Defile. And now we just have to worry about these mind controls. If Hat's being very cautious, he will likely play this Void Lord and Dark Pact it right away, just so that even just so that he guarantees being able to get something back with the Gul'dan, and that's exactly what he ends up doing. Really heads up play by Hat, knows that these mind controls could end up being a huge issue as the game goes on. And the second Twisting Nether is going to mean that if Chris commits this Scalebane, which he does, he just has a really nice way of cleaning this up.
Okay, so let's see what Hat does here. Okay, he does opt to go with Gul'dan.
Goes with Gul'dan. This is slightly risky. Actually, that might just be lethal now. Oh wait, no. If Chris had another dragon, he could have Blast Crystal Potioned the Void Lord and then played Dustbreaker. Oh, still wouldn't have had lethal, but it would have been...
It would have definitely put more pressure on Hat in that case.
Exactly.
I think you have to go Twisting Nether. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you just suck face, it looks like.
You probably start sucking these Void Walkers, right? I guess he has... I wonder how he's going to deal with taking damage from these Void Walkers.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's... I mean, it seems from that last play he's not too worried about them. considering he can
Yeah.
just make up for the life every time he goes face with his hero power. But you know, as
Mm.
Chris keeps developing the board here, maybe he'll have second thoughts.
Yeah, this is interesting. I wonder how Hat cleans up the rest of this board now. He's out of Hellfires. He's out of, um, yeah, okay. I mean, you get a decent board presence with this. Your Void Lord's gonna get mind controlled, but you should be able to. I think you should be able to stabilize. You know, Chris doesn't have enough damage to kill Hat on board, so
It's going to be awfully close, but we'll see
it is
what.
gonna be quite close. But we have a lot of life gain left, so I think we might be okay as long as we're able to kind of deal with this Void Lord. It'll prevent Chris from getting too many 3/3s. Okay, yeah, Blast Crystal Potion is great, and then we can Spellstone something, I'm sure. Probably Spellstone like the 4. Yeah, Spellstone the 4/4, suck the 2/2, and I think Hat might have fully stabilized now.
That is just so much health gain on that turn
Yeah,
there from Hat. I just don't know if Chris has
and
anything to counteract that.
yep, and now he knows that both mind controls are gone, so this Rin can stick. I can't really see what Chris is going to be able to do. All of his high value cards seem to be gone from the deck. I think he might have one Draconid Operative left. That might be his way to get back in this. But I don't know what he could steal from Hat that would be good enough.
Yeah, and then Hat here is just going to start putting the pressure on with Rin, constantly making
Yep.
those seals, even if Chris is able to get through it. But yeah, I think at this point, I think Hat might have just stabilized too much, and I just don't know if Chris has anything to counter it with. I think it's only a matter of time for now, but hey, we'll see.
This would have to be a big pickup here. And I don't think Nor's Dormu
Pick it!
is
Pick the
the
Nostalgia!
dragon is big enough, unfortunately. So he's gonna wipe off the rest of these creatures with Dustbreaker.
So with Dustbreaker, I mean, even if it's not Hat's turn, he's still picking up more
Okay.
and more
We
health
still
gain.
have a free from Ember. Alright, so what's this free from Ember gonna get us? This free from Ember gets us Lich King, which gets or no, it gets us Ysera, which yeah, it's gotta be like Ysera, which gets us the
Something,
bounce spell
yeah,
a
something
bunch
to
of
keep
times.
generating cards. He's quickly
Hat
running
just
out.
Yeah, and Hat just keeps like replaying Void Lord. And
Yeah,
Chris
especially
keeps
with
bouncing it with
another Stonehill
Ysera.
defender, he might be able to get even another Void Lord here.
Oh, all right. So yeah, Hat's just gonna start working away at those seals. Hopefully, try to get some of the last few cards from Chris's deck out of there. This free from Amber is gonna have to be pretty huge here. All right, Chris thinking about trading into the Stonehill. Well, oh nope, that's a Nixia. I saw an 8/8, and I thought,
You're thinking there was
with
hope.
a bunch of text. Well, I thought it was an 8/8 with a bunch of text, so I was like, oh, maybe he got Lich King, but ooh, okay. Well, Hat is low on cards. He did end up having to tap a whole bunch. So maybe they're. I mean, I unfortunately think these seals that he's gonna have are just gonna end up being too much. But he's gonna use double Doomsayer to basically get
Stabilize the board.
Yeah, and Chris is now in the situation where he wants to play this Draconid Operative to get the last card in Hat's deck, but he doesn't know if that card's even going to be useful, so probably going to have to get something like... He's going to have to Glimmer Root into N'Zoth, I think, Because Glimmerroot into N'Zoth gets him
It gives him his
two
Void
Void
Lords.
Lords back.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he gets a Void Lord, but I just don't think it's enough, unfortunately.
Let's see here.
Not really seeing any more outs for Chris to be able to clinch this one up. Unfortunately, everything's gonna have to die to these Doomsayers, and Hat's just gonna double seal. Yep, Chris definitely didn't want a 5-mana 2/2. So good thing he didn't end up playing the Draconid Operative. I wonder if it. Well, no real reason for it to come down this turn. I think you just. I guess you could Dustbreaker. Yeah, Dustbreaker Draconid Operative.
Yeah, Mark Shire in the chat is asking how many cards Chris has left. It looks like he has 4 left.
4 cards left.
I just don't think he can. Even with the fatigue,
Yeah.
I don't know if.
I just don't think it's the pressure. Hat just goes double seal again. Has a 5/5 and a 6/6 contesting this 3/3 and 4/4. Still has another Spellstone that he can upgrade with the Vulgar Homunculus, and unfortunately this is just a 8-mana 4/7 that doesn't get anything left from his deck. Yep, I'm not seeing a whole lot of outs. I think I might have considered playing Void Lord there instead of the 2 dragons, but yeah, this is unfortunately not what Chris wants to do. He can't really, doesn't really want to be trading here because Hat can now just play a 10/10.
Yeah, and
Trade
just
with,
take the board.
Yeah, take a
his
value
trades.
trade. Doesn't really care about taking this 5 damage to face with the extra fatigue because he's got enough to last for the rest of the game.
He's not going down without a fight, though. Let's see a Void Lord.
Nope. Void Lord's gonna come out. Chris is gonna hope that the fatigue can kind of help him win this race. Hat's even gonna just yeah, Hat plays out a 5-mana 2/2 just to get a little bit more board presence.
I mean, it's crazy to think that, I mean, at this day and age in Hearthstone, it almost seems like Warlock is the better healing class than Priest with all its options.
Right. Yeah, it's so crazy how many. Just think about how many big threats Chris made this game,
Yeah.
and Hat was just able to go, okay, Twisting Nether you,
He,
trade him with a bunch of stuff, use my resources, even inefficiently, and
he's
it
literally
kinda just
taking
doesn't
Hat's
matter.
cards and using them against him, and still can't win the game.
Yep.
So I think he's gonna have one more turn here. He can clear the
Yep.
taunt minion.
And then Hat takes a bunch of fatigue damage, heals up with the Spellstone, goes to face for a bunch of damage, and I think that's gonna be it. It looks like we have our first finalist. I think this is exact. Is it exact? Oh, okay, almost
Yep,
exactly.
and he takes it there, and that's gonna be all she wrote as Hat takes the first semifinal 5-1, clinching himself a spot in the UHL Season 1 Finals. Again, that's going to be for tomorrow. So we'll definitely be keeping updates as far as times go. Just stay tuned with all social media. We'll definitely get you guys some updates. But congratulations to Hat, and very well fought on Chris's behalf. He's representing Andrew of the Happy Hearthstone, who wasn't able to make his semifinal match. But again, great matches by both players there. And congratulations again to Hat.
Yeah, congrats Hat, congrats Chris, congrats to you too for really putting on just an amazing first season of UHL. It's been a blast to watch. I'm very fortunate that you're letting me come on and cast, and I think we're going to be doing another cast a little bit later today, right, of the other semifinal match between Rod and Spivey.
That is correct. The second semifinals is going to be tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so that's going to be 5 o'clock your time, Pacific Standard Time. So we'll go ahead and get that going. It's going to be myself casting that match. Bodicus, are you going to be joining me on that one as well?
Yep, I'll be here.
Okay, so we'll be back at that time, and we're actually going to get Hat in here in just a second. We're going to get a little post-game interview. So if you guys want to give us 1 second, we'll go ahead and we'll get Hat in here.
We might have to leave a call and start a group.
Let's do it. Like I said, guys, we'll be right back with Hat for a post-game interview.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Hat.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, buddy, congratulations on clinching your spot into the UHL Season 1 Finals. You put up a great fight there. I'm sure you were caught off a little bit off guard as far as what Chris was bringing with all those old gods. So can you just give us a little bit of the strategy that you had going into the match?
Well, so my strategy going into the match was, generally, I feel like I got pretty lucky in the draft. I expected Chris to first pick Paladin, but he took, I think he took Priest, and so that gave me the option to start off with Warlock and Paladin, which are both really difficult to beat, especially in a no format. And from there, I just kind of went with the decks that we've been seeing at these HCT tour stops. There's a lot of Mage out there, and Hunter increased representation. Turn 3 Barnes into Yasharaj, so it was an old godding back and forth by everybody.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It was awesome to see you come out, especially setting the tempo first match. Like you said, getting that Barnes into Yasharaj, and then just going face with that Yasharaj. I think that really set the tone early on as far as what we would see going through the match. As you can see, a very convincing victory, 5-1. But as far as tomorrow, do you have any preference on who you'd like to play?
I want them both to lose somehow today, because no matter who I play against, I expect both of them to be fierce competitors. I mean, Spivey is one of the most competitive people I know, and I got a very tight win over him in the main season, but he made me sweat. Whereas Rod gave me a pretty debilitating beating in week 7.
Yeah, I mean, if you get to play Rod again, you'll get to...
But he crushed me, so I don't really want to play against either of them. I think they're both excellent players, and I'm really excited for the match later tonight.
Yeah, it will be awesome. Like Hat said, that match will be on later tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. So we'll catch you guys then. Thank you very much for your time, Hat. I appreciate you giving us this little interview, and good luck tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.
Anytime. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us right now. Like I said, the next match is going to be at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys want to join us for then, we'll be giving out some more information on Twitter. So give us a follow at UnitedHearthstoneLeague, and we will see everybody then. Thank you very much for now, and talk to you later.